naira, 51% discount from the current market price of about 82,000 naira. However, there's evidence that price control does not work, and there's risk people are buying to sell at a higher price. Well, joining us now, we have Tomiwa Jawale, is an analyst with FDC. Great to have you, Tomiwa. So how do you think this will play out?
Yeah, thank you for having me, Ladi. With this new policy, there are two sides at which we can look at it. On one end, the government is making efforts, to improve the food security in the country, insecurity in the country, which is commendable. But looking at it realistically, how many people are actually going to be able to benefit from this? And again, when the 40K bag of rice finish, what next then? So, while in the short time it's good for alleviating the food insecurity, it's time to start looking at the long-term strategies. And again, Nigerians are very opportunistic people. If I'm able to buy at 40,000 naira now, there's incentive for me to hold and just sell later when the price goes up. So, that can also mitigate the expected effect, the relief. Expected relief on consumers. So, what the government needs to start doing now is look at long-term strategies. The policies that we want to see are how many new tractors are coming into the country. What are the policies that are helping farmers to improve their modern farming practices? What partnership are we doing with international private organizations to boost our agricultural extension services? These are the policies we want to see, the ones that are going to help with increasing our yield per hectare of rice. Those are the policies that will boost food rice production in the long run and help to bring down prices. So while in the short term, this could help. This could have some effect in improving the food insecurity. The country is not going to go a long way.
Nigerians won't go and resell this rice. Some will just, use it. You don't have to make a profit, on this one. But, given the 150-day duty-free import period, for rice and the Naira's recent 5% depreciation to 1,605, we've also seen CBN's reintroduction of retail Dutch auction system. What will be the impact on local rice prices with all of this?
Yeah, so the removal of the import duty ideally should bring down food prices. That's about 15% of the price. But again, with imported commodities, you always have to do with the exchange rate. And if the naira is sliding, since July, it has lost about 5% to currently around 1,600 So if you have the naira depreciating, that's going to raise the import cost, and obviously that's going to affect the expected ease in the fall of imported commodities. But with what this retail Dutch auction system is going to do is that it's going to improve the transparency in the market. Now demand and supply will really be able to determine the price. And again, the dollar, the Forex is going to go more to those who really need it. So that could help to pump demand. And again, if there's increased transparency, that's going to boost investor confidence in the country. That could lead to more Forex inflow, which is going to help to stabilize the naira. So we expect, we're hopeful that the Dutch system, if done well, will be able to achieve this. We want to see the naira stable. If the naira is stable and hopefully appreciates, that can help with bringing down the prices of these imported commodities. And then when these prices come down, we begin to see prices of food, prices of rice, I think beans, maize, wheat, those are the commodities, we begin to see them fall, which is going to be helpful for the country.
Well, I can't wait for a time where I see, lower prices in Nigeria, lower and stable prices. That would be incredible. But why are there concerns that the import duty-free policy might, negatively impact Nigeria's local rice production? We're not really meeting that demand, locally.
Yeah, so our production only accounts for about 57% of our demand, and there are some concerns that when you begin to import, that could affect the local production. But what we need local production to do first of all is to remember that these imports duty is just for a period, it's just for a temporary period of time. Ideally, if there's increased imports, if there's increased supply, that could bring down prices, which could affect the profit margins of the local producers. But again, the import window is temporary, and again, we need to actually focus on boosting production instead, and not to worry about import, because ideally, if the imports come, imports are usually more expensive, but when the imports come down, they actually have to bring down the prices of the local products. So what they need to draw attention to more is increase the investment in the local production, so as to boost the production. So instead of talking about how it will affect increased production, what they need to do instead is to engage stakeholders and engage the government about the efforts that we actually boost production. If production is well and we're meeting our demand, nobody's going to talk about importing rice.
All right, thank you so much. I will keep tracking that market and see how all of this impacts rice prices. Thank you so much, Tomiwa.